Hi Lo. So I want to show you guys a book that I made, and voila, there it is, Beaded People. I made this book. I started it in 2014, and in 2018, after several different editions, I finally said, listen, I gotta finish, I can't keep adding photos, so I finished it in 2018. The cover was a photo that I took with 35mm film in Kakuma, Kenya in 1998. I really like the negative, so I used that instead of a positive image, and I just put a little color here on the beads, and then I designed this little Beaded People thing with my name. And I'm an American. I took all the photos in the book in Kenya, and the book was printed by Blurb in America. And so America, I thought, that's just too much America. I want to have something in the book, I mean, other than the photos, but I want something physical, like the book itself, but from Africa by an African. So I thought, let me make a special cover for it. Well, not me make it, but have it designed. So I came up with this. I used to have a show on YouTube called Lost in Africa, and in the show we went to Kisii, which they have a lot of soapstone there, and I thought, let me have a cover carved, a relief picture carved into soapstone to put on the cover. So I couldn't go to Kisii. I mean, it's kind of far, so I couldn't. It's not that I couldn't. I didn't want to go to Kisii to find the carver that I had met years before. So I looked around Nairobi, I asked some people, and they gave me the names of two guys, and I got together with them and said, okay, I want you to carve, here's my idea, I want you to carve something simple and let me see how good you are. And they said, oh, don't worry, we're master carvers. They carved and they were just horrible. So then I had to go to Kisii, and luckily I found the master carver that I had met years before, and he agreed to carve these covers. So I gave him a basic design, and then he ran with it and did this. And then I decided I wanted to, kind of bling it up. So I like these Kenyan coins, and I glued those on, and then I got beads, different colored beads, and glued them in there to kind of make it, a little different. And then I drilled holes in the cover of the book, and I tied this cover on, and I didn't want it permanent because it's kind of heavy, and some people don't like a heavy cover on their book, though it's unique. But and some of them, they like it so much they want to display this. So I tied it on so they could untie it, and they could still have the original cover, and then they could put this on display. So yeah, so they could take this off, and then they still have this cover. And then I thought, okay, well, that's still not enough. I want something additional, something African on there. So I had the idea, why don't I have bags made with African material? So that's what I did. So I found a guy and gave him the sizes, and then he had arranged to people to sew these bags. At first they were just a simple bag, and then I thought, wait a minute, this is Beaded People. So I said, could you put on a header Beaded People? And then I thought, well, let me go to the Maasai market and buy some different beads that are already done in these circles and have them sewn on. So that's what I did. So it kind of makes it, more cool. And then I thought, well, that's still not enough. I want people, because the book, I don't sell the book, I give it to friends and family that I think would appreciate it. And I said, I want them to have something, that shows something that the people in the book wear. So then I found a Maasai lady who sews these necklaces for Maasais, and I bought them. And I tie them onto the book so that whoever I give the book to can untie it, and they can display this, or they could wear it if they want. Or, in Kenya you could they put a mirror in here, kind of neat. They could do that, whatever they want to do with it. But it's just a little memento from one of the ethnic groups that are in the book, tribes if you want to call them whatever. So, yeah, so I did that. And I have several variations. This is just one type of the African material. Then I have, here's another type that I have, and then here's another type, and I think there's maybe one or two more different type of African material that I have in the book bags. And then I thought, well, still, that's not enough. I want to have another cover made. So I thought, I love leather and I love the beadwork. So I arranged for this to be made. So not with this. So my friend in northern Kenya, Rendile, his mother does beadwork. And she made this. Let me just take this book out of here. So she made this, this beadwork. She did a fantastic job, by the way. And so I had her make this, and it's tied onto the cover once again. So you could untie it. If you want, you could put a picture in here for the book, or you could put your own picture in there. You could have it displayed apart, or you could have it on the book. And then I got a smaller soapstone cover made and tied that on also. So as I said, you could untie that and put whatever you want in here if you want to use it for something else. So there's different variations of the book just for fun. And let's have a look at the book. So here's the book. Now I wanted to personalize the book because Blurb did a great job printing it, but I wanted it, you know, my own stuff in there, what I want. So like this book, I found a map of Africa, put in their old map, and then I printed this out, and then I wrote on it some explaining the book. I printed out different posters in small size, glued them in. Then I designed a stamp, like, you know, a stamp on a letter, and used that to stamp on there. And then I wrote on here, I'm going to read what I wrote so you understand what the book is about. So I wrote, from the time I was a young boy dreaming of Africa until the end of my first year there, I was only interested in African animals. But after seeing Turkana tribespeople in Kenya, I have been drawn to those who are often called, for want of a better word, traditional. Having seen old photos and having spent time with many of them, I've noticed that traditions have changed and continue to do so, very quickly in fact. However, the thing that they still have in common, within and between different tribes, is the wearing of beads, especially on necklaces and headdresses, hence the title of this book. So, let's have a look at the pictures. So here's another whole map of Africa. And this is a Rendile lady. And of course, I just glued 2 posters in there. And the first group I start off with, they're Turkana. Because the Turkana, you know, not against any other people, but the Turkana are my favorite. And I haven't spent that much time with them. I wish I'd spend more time with them. And this photo was taken in Loyangalani. Same with this one. You can see she has the red ochre on her. Same with this lady. And the first time, yeah, I think it was the first time I went up there. I was on my way back we used to ride on the tops of trucks. There were no buses, so we just would pay a driver to take us while we'd sit on, there were many people sitting on top of the truck. And I was on top of the truck, and there were Turkanas inside, and there was a lady next to me, and she rested her head on my arm. And what I love most about the Turkana, I love the way they wear their beads. And I love that they shave the side of their head and they just have this mohawk and they put these little braids. And when they have ochre on it, like this lady, she leaned her head on me to rest. And when she got up to leave, there was an impression of the braids on my arm in ochre. And I just remember how cool I thought it was. This, you can see Lake Turkana in the background. This photo was taken in 1998 in Kakuma. This was one of the first times that I took photos of Turkanas close up. Same with this photo. I love this photo. This lady, look at her lip plug here, and look at the beads. They're not like glass beads. They're made from seeds from a tree. That's really old school. This lady is collecting rocks to sell, like gravel. And that cool haircut, even the kids have it. And I put old pictures of the different tribespeople, and this is a Turkana guy from a long time ago. This guy was so stately, like a diplomat. I love the light in her eyes. We were in Loyangalani. I love the way this young girl put this dirt in her hair. Yeah, so I don't know if you could see it there, the scarring around her eye there. Beautiful light that evening. Look at the way it lights up their faces. An old photo of the Turkana. And this little boy, they had strapped him into the top of the donkey for the ride home. These ladies, this was in Loyangalani town. They're really nice people. Then a Samburu, I haven't spent much time with the Samburu, but I did go to a Samburu wedding, this is part of it. And it was raining, part of it, and most people, they'll stop shooting in the rain, which is a shame because the light and rain is so beautiful. And in this photo you can see the raindrops coming down, and yeah, it was really dramatic. This is the guy that got married. The ladies were singing as they were coming to the wedding. It was raining so hard, and it was just, yeah, very dramatic. She was putting a cover on her roof so the hut wouldn't get wet inside. This is an infrared photo, not black and white. And look at those clouds, how beautiful they are. Anyway, this rock overlooked the valley, but I was taking a picture. The sun was coming from this direction, but the view over the valley was absolutely gorgeous. I mean, wow, it was breathtaking. And look at when they were walking away, their backs with the sunlight on them. Just gorgeous, and the red ochre in their hair. This was the wedding also. Then the Pokot, these were taken in East Pokot. I spent a lot of time there, and I really like the people there. They're just fantastic people. Very kind and accommodating. This guy was really neat. Earlier he'd been wearing a lion skin. This was part of the Sabana coming of age ceremony for boys, and it was raining. Gives that beautiful effect once again. I like this picture because the tree was behind an acacia tree, and it looks like her hair also. This is from the Sabana again. The rain just gave a beautiful effect. And the Pokot are interesting. The young ones, they have their own sense of style, totally different from the elder Pokot. And the boys, they wear tight, short, tight skirts. And the girls wear long, loose shirts. So it's just totally opposite of Western culture. Very interesting. And they do so many cool things with their style. The way they put their clothes together, and earrings and combs in their hair, and all kind of neat stuff. Now here's the traditional Pokots at the ceremony, the Sabana. And here's the boys that are going through the ceremony. They're getting their mud skull caps put on. I was lucky I got to see that. And here they are. This guy is wearing a leopard skin. And these boys now will have to drink from these bowls, but they can't pick it up. They have to get down and drink from it. Part of the ceremony. This guy was a really cool guy. I met him my first day in East Pokot. This guy, really cool old guy with this lip plug, white. It was white, I don't know. I think it was made of stone. He has aluminum lip plug. Yeah, like these are, they always carry this around. It's a stool, but it also is a headrest when you want to sleep. Kind of convenient. And I love this picture because I guess they felt that they had to stand at attention to have their photo taken. I just think it's really neat. This I took with the medium format camera. This guy, I met him my first day. He was the same picture, the same guy, the other page. I love that photo where he's just sitting there looking at me. And this guy lived near where we were staying. We were camping right over here on the edge of somebody's compound, and he came over. I loved his simple dress, but it's such a dramatic photo. And this girl, this was the daughter of the guys whose land we stayed on. Her name is Kakwa. She was so cute. She used to hang out with us a lot. And, yeah, really neat kid. And this guy, look at it with the U.S. police shirt on. And look at the garland on his hat. They just have such a cool sense of style. This was the girls' coming of age ceremony, and I love the way they have these beads covering their eyes. I didn't get to stay for the whole ceremony because my car was having trouble and I was nervous, and I thought I'd better start getting back. But I was lucky I got to see what I did. There they are, just weaving beads while the ceremony is going on. These are the Dasanach. This is the extreme north of Kenya near the border of Ethiopia. And all the other sections of the book, they have, I put a stamp there because Kenya came out with a series of stamps with each of the different ethnic groups. Like here's Pokot. And, but they didn't have Dasanach, but Dasanach are from Ethiopia, so here's an Ethiopian stamp. I love that light. Look at the shadow going there. God, it was gorgeous. And the wind was blowing that cool looking skirt. Beautiful. And these guys with their mud skull caps. And I hung out with this old guy because there was a car broken down and we had a mechanic with us, so he was working on their car, and I was just hanging out with this old dude, just sitting down, trying to stay out of the sun. Look at this old lady with the t-shirt, Facebook. This photo was taken at the Lake Turkana Cultural Festival. And then the Rendile. This is the people that I spent the most time with, and I just love them. I love going up there. And I have a family that I stay with, and I just, yeah, they're just so cool. I've been to many Rendile villages. Just nice people. This girl was beaded, which means engaged. So the guy that's going to marry her buys her a lot of beads. Now all the girls wear beads, but when you're beaded, you wear a lot more beads. And she had, I don't even know how she was standing up. This was a shepherd. When my car was broken down, I was taking pictures of her. She was like a model. She loved having her photo taken and videos, and she was so patient, and yeah, cool lady. Years later, I went back and I gave her a big poster of well, she wasn't there. I found somebody that knew her, and I gave the poster to them to give to her. Here's the Rendiles dancing. Once again, infrared photos. It's a really neat effect. And this evening, I remember that evening, it was so beautiful with that light, and then the lady standing there. I was just like, wow, shot, looking up and just, wow, just gorgeous. And this girl just got married that day. She was having her head shaved with the razor blade. She was so patient, just had her head down, and this one was joking around, talking while she was shaving. It was interesting. These two old ladies were cool too. And this day, we went up there for November 11, 2011 to make a video for this, I don't remember, it was some kind of thing going on where they wanted videos from all over the world, so we went up there to make a video. And it had been raining up there, so it was very lush and fertile, and there was lots of milk, so people were happy, and yeah, this old couple, I remember that. And this in the morning, this girl with their baby, such a beautiful sight. You're lucky when you get to see something like that. And here, this was the first Rendile house I ever went into. This lady was making ugali, and these were her kids. This girl was studying. There was a small space in the side of the hut, and light was coming through, so she was studying there. And then after that, this guy invited me into his house. That was really cool also. Nice family. And there's the Rendiles dancing. And this night, when I was staying in the village, it was a full moon, and I had an old, well, not an old, but not a very good digital camera, but I opened the shutter and just let the light in, and then it gives that neat effect. Look at somebody had come out or gone in with a flashlight. Look at how it's just like a ghost there. And it gives that kind of like a painterly effect. It looks like a painting. Just beautiful. This girl had gotten married that day. She had, well, so she had a, she had been circumcised that day, which is, you know, I know it's their culture, but to me it's barbarism. I can't stand it, and I wish they'd quit. She was not very happy. You could see by her face. And this is her mother. They were cooking inside. You could see the smoke. Gave a really neat effect. This was also on 11/11/11. I remember that lady standing outside. This is a traditional Rendile house. The opening is different than other Rendile homes. They're actually modeled off of Samburu, but this is the Rendile style. This girl was so beautiful. Yeah, and here's some Rendile dancing. Very powerful. The music, the sounds, the dust, the way they go in a circle, just all the colors, and it's just absolutely gorgeous. Then here, this is the naming ceremony, when the Rendile warriors then become basically adults and they can get married. This is first thing in the morning, and look at that light. Look at the light on their skin and on that red ochre, and they're skipping through the sand, and look at the shadow on the sand, and another group there. I was mostly taking videos that morning, but I was also trying to take photos of them. Luckily I took this photo because I just think this photo is so powerful. So beautiful. And here's the family that I stay with, the Rendile family that I stay with in northern Kenya. This is the mother and the father. I met him because my car broke down. An engine mount broke, and he allowed us to stay in their village, and then gave us tea in the morning and took me to look for a way out of his village. And he doesn't speak Swahili or English, but really great guy. This is his son, who I've become very good friends with. He's a school teacher, and that's his wife. And they're just great people. And here they are again. This is the mother. There she is. That's her mother. And these two are her daughters. It's Helena, and this is Narita. Narita is probably, well, she is. She's one of the kindest people I've ever met in my life. Kind and caring and gentle, and just, you just love being around her. She's just so cool. We don't speak the same language. I mean, she only speaks Rendile, but what a great lady. Just, yeah, great family. The mother and father are so all the kids are great. Helena is great. John is great. Just fantastic people. Yeah. More Rendiles. And here's the dad, the guy that helped me. And when Jose and I were driving along the road, we found an animal that had dropped off, and we took it to him, and he put a hole in it. He was trying to make it into a horn to make sound. So he's blowing in it there. And here's the naming ceremony, first thing in the morning. They're skipping from the village. This guy invited me to his wedding, but I didn't get a chance to go, and I wish I would have gone. It's kind of sad I didn't get to see it. And last but not least, the Maasai, the most famous tribe in Kenya, probably in Africa. Maybe in Africa, besides Zulus or something, I don't know. Well, they're pretty famous. Anyway, there's the stamp from Kenya for the Maasai. So I spent the least amount of time with any people was the Maasai, ironically. I have a very good Maasai friend, and she invited me to this ceremony, and this is where I took the photos. And I didn't get many photos, but at least I got some. And just recently, she told me, it's been years now, there's the last photo of the book. She told me, I asked her, why did you never take me to take photos of Maasai? I wanted them for my book. And she said, Kevin, the Maasai are famous. Most people, they have lots of books of Maasai, but they don't have other tribes, so I wanted you to do that, and that's why I didn't take you. And I was like, oh, okay. I wish I would have gone, though. I think it would have been cool to get more photos, but that's life. And these are some old photos that I got off the internet of Maasai. And then here's an old photo of me with the Turkana lady, taken in Kakuma, Kenya in 1998. And here's an old postcard of a Turkana. And an old map of Africa, because I just love the shape of Africa, and I love the word Africa. It's so powerful. But I also love old maps of Africa. This is an old map that I got from a book. It's photocopy, but I really like it. And then I put some Kenyan money in here. Old Kenyan money. Now they have new money. This 50 shilling and 1,000 shilling note. But these are like the Rendile, how they put their houses on top of the camel. I remember my first time going to northern Kenya on the top of a truck, driving through the desert for 2 days and seeing these camel trains along the road. At that time, the road was dirt. Now it's paved, but I remember seeing these camel trains going along the road. So cool to see them. I was like, wow, but I couldn't take any photos. I had a crappy camera and we were moving. And then the end of the book, one of my favorite photos of the Turkana, I took this in 1998, this young Turkana lady. I remember hanging out with her, and I was waiting for my patatu, and we were talking, because back then I spoke some Swahili, and she was beautiful, really beautiful girl. And then the first couple editions, I just had the photo, but then I added this quote from a book by Mirella Ricciardi. I think the book is called Vanishing Africa, if I'm not mistaken. And it's a quote from the book that I really love. There are still today men and women in Africa who are as much a part of the land as the fauna and flora, and in many ways they have a strange likeness and communion with them. They belong to their surroundings, as do the giraffe or the camel, the antelope, the acacia tree, or Kilimanjaro. They belong to Africa. How powerful that is. Yeah, Africa gets right into your blood. It just, anyway. Yeah, I love that quote. So that's it. I'm happy you watched. I hope you enjoyed the book. Make your own books. I mean, there's lots of services out there. I love Blurb. I think they really love books. It's not just money. They really love to do books, and they're always innovating. And yeah. But anyway, you make a book. Just make a book or a zine, whatever, because it's just really cool. And I hope you enjoyed. Thank you.